Chapter 133. On the nature of the threefold begetting, the proper physical begetting. When after this revelation all the patriarchs, even including Adam, were fully satisfied and, following the inner bidding of abbedom, went back to their former places, naturally with a heart full of gratitude, the high abbedom summoned Mahalalel and said to him, Mahalalel, do you now know everything which would be of benefit to you and all your descendants? If you know it all, you may surely stay away with a new question. However, if you still have something dark in the background, come out with it to the light, for no dark cleft in your hearts shall remain. So if you know of something which you find oppresses you, rid yourself of it, as I said. Amen. Mahalalel pondered this for a while, for he had a good question, but did not dare bring it out into the open. Abbedom, seeing his sincerity, owing to which he, Mahalalel, did not wish to offend anyone, least of all the lovely young Pura, who was still very close to abbedom, he said to him, Mahalalel, I know the honest bent of your heart. Therefore, remitting your question, I will promptly give you a good answer to the silent question of your heart. And so listen, you and all you others. As far as the natural begetting is concerned, which man usually shares with the animals, this cannot be changed in general, except in quite extraordinary, spiritually indicated cases. For through the physical begetting, as it exists, neither the spirit nor the soul is begotten, but solely a material body, which at first must be completely formed in the womb before it is enabled to receive the soul, and this, in turn, the spirit. Thus there is a good reason for everything, and everything has its good order. The flesh begets the flesh, the soul begets the soul, and the spirit begets the spirit. But how and why so? You must understand, and so listen. You know that everything in the sphere of the spiritual, which alone is strong and really substantial essential, can only make its visible appearance by way of the corresponding opposite. This opposite is the endeavouring of the main force as such to restrain and coerce itself, so as to become thereby manifest. Now imagine your spirit. Whereby does it manifest itself? Behold, by seizing itself, which constitutes love in the truest sense, or the love for me. Without this seizing, the spirit will never become aware of its independence, but will always remain only a part of my infinite universal spirit, without self-awareness. This applies also to the soul, which, generally speaking, constitutes the entire vegetative life of the entire world of nature. It seizes itself generally, or can seize itself, in countless points, where as a consequence the things begin to manifest according to the order laid by me into the universal soul. However, this is merely a mute, unaware coercion, or a begetting of the soul through its innate order out of me. A begetting in self-awareness takes place only when somehow all the parts of the universal soul seize and coerce one another, consequently come close to each other, and finally press and ignite. As it then becomes light in their midst, they recognize and seize each other to form a completely segregated whole. This act of soul procreation takes place through what is understood by neighbourly love. He to whom this is alien remains also a stranger to his brother. Now look, after these two inner preliminary procreations, also the flesh can seize itself in its opposite, there coercing and urging. Through this coercion, one opposite then passes into the other, the two seizing each other, and thus between two external opposites, an independent medium is formed. This, depending on which of the opposites it had been close to during the act, must, according to my order, correspond in its nature to either the one or the other, also in the flesh. And this is called a proper self-love, or fleshly love. Behold, thus the fleshly love with its corresponding begetting is just as proper as the one of the spirit and that of the soul, provided it takes place within my set eternal order. If, however, it is contrary to it, it is a procreation of death rather than life, and thus a crass sin, because thereby the life of the soul and the spirit is even undermined and disturbed. This too, all of you must understand well and comply with, and all your begetting will be proper and pleasing to me. Amen.